Mangwanani Mwalelepo Vukenjani Klekwas Vanave Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. You are joined by Ashwin Bedi. These are some of the stories that we're looking at today. Expelled MK party members told to move out of parliamentary houses, but they maintain that they still love Jacob Zuma. In Egypt, there are plans to return oil and gas production to normal by next year. That's according to the Prime Minister. And in Zambia, 400 dogs die due to contaminated corn. DSTV 285, Go TV 25, 1up2.com as we bring you the latest stories from Africa, with Mike Suchula bringing us stories from Zambia a little later on. Stay with us. Top stories shortly.
Entries are now open for the second round of Republicane's Bridal Couple of the Year competition. Couples married between 1 June and 31 August have until 30 September of this year to enter the second round of the competition. Another one of the top 10 couples will be chosen from this pool to participate in the final, taking place in May 2025. To better your chance of reaching the final, enter now. To enter, simply WhatsApp #Bridal2025 to 085 785 6231 and follow the on-screen instructions or scan this QR code.
Getting into our top stories, we start off in South Africa, where a group of expelled Umkhonto party members who have been removed from parliament say they have been told to move out of their parliamentary homes. In a media briefing yesterday, 18 members said they had refused to move out and were challenging their removal from parliament in the court. We are still in the village and they tried removing us. They were sending letters to say we must be out. But Parliament said they have a way of dealing with these matters, said former Student Command leader Tammy Kuzwayo. Kuzwayo, along with other expelled members, said they still believed in the leadership of MK Party President Jacob Zuma, despite the recent events that have affected them. We love the president, and this has nothing to do with the president. It has to do with this group of guys who are putting our organization into disrepute, he said. Kuzwayo said he believes that Zuma was not aware of the injustices that the expelled members of parliament have suffered. Now in our next story, Egypt plans to return to oil and gas production to normal levels from 2025 with the help of international partners, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli said in a press conference yesterday. The North African country had aimed to become a regional hub for liquefied natural gas after a string of recent discoveries, including the giant Zohr offshore gas field with an estimated 30 trillion cubic feet of gas. Its hopes were cut short by a scarcity of foreign currency that led to an accumulation of arrears. There is a very clear plan to bring the volume of production of oil and gas with foreign partners back to previous levels and to also increase it in the coming period, Madbouli said. Now, the European ambassador in Maputo pointed out a very close partnership with Mozambique in the great challenging aspects of combating attacks in the north of the country following the signing of the agreement to extend the European military training mission. The signing of this agreement is a significant moment in the context of the political partnership between the Republic of Mozambique and the European Union. It's a very close partnership to support the country for development, in this case in the context of the great challenge in the area of security, in the combat in the north, in the context of the crisis in Cabo Delgado, said Antonino Maggiore after signing the agreement with Mozambique's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation, Veronica Macamo. Now, Zambia's health minister Elijah Muchima has raised alarm over the deaths of 400 dogs in the past month, believed to be linked to contaminated maize. He warned that humans could also be at risk. Health authorities discovered that half of the 25 maize samples tested from milling companies contained dangerously high levels of aflatoxins, toxic substances produced by fungi. Maize, a staple food in Zambia, is now under scrutiny due to its potential health risks. The World Health Organization has noted that aflatoxins can cause liver cancer in humans. The investigation began after local broadcaster Diamond TV reported numerous dog deaths suspected to be caused by maize-based dog food. Authorities collected samples from 10 milling companies involved in producing both dog food and maize meal, which is widely consumed by people. While no human deaths have been reported, the Zambia National Public Health Institute is investigating the potential impact on the population. The second largest diamond ever found, a rough 2,492 carat stone, has been unearthed in Botswana at a mine owned by Canadian firm Lucara Diamond. It is the biggest find since the 3,106 carat Cullinan diamond found in South Africa in 1905 and cut into 9 separate stones, many of which are in the British crown jewels. The diamond was found at Karowe mine, about 500 kilometers north of Botswana's capital, Gaborone. Botswana's government said it was the largest diamond ever discovered in the southern African state. The previous biggest discovery in Botswana was a 1,758 carat stone found at the same mine in 2019. Botswana is one of the world's biggest producers of diamonds, accounting for about 20% of global production. You are still with Africa Good Morning, and we look forward to talking to Mike Sichula after the break as he brings us the news stories from Zambia.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
All right, it's time for us to get the news stories from Mike Sichula in Zambia. Mike, Udiwanje. Unfortunately, we aren't getting the sound through from Mike Sichula, but he has provided us with his stories, so let's get straight into them. The government in Zambia, we touched on this story just before the break, the government has named the 8 milling companies whose maize and milling meal products had elevated levels of aflatoxins. These are Pembe, Africa, Shabco, Continental, Girard, Busu, and Star Milling, as well as Farm Feed. The government will mention more companies if their products test positive to high levels of aflatoxins after the results are out. Meanwhile, in Zambia, National Public Health Institute Director General Roma Chilengi said his team will continue to sample products to ensure that the maize, mealie meal, and dog food is safe. Professor Chilengi assured the nation that the government is on top of things to ensure that the food is fit for human consumption. This after, as we covered earlier, 400 dogs died due to contaminated maize in Zambia. In Mike's other story, UN resident coordinator Beatrice Mutali says the forum should also unlock scalable private sector contributions to the SDGs through direct and real economic investments. Speaking during the first ever private sector engagement engagements on SDGs in Lusaka, Ms. Mutali said only about 17% of the SDGs are on course before the deadline in 2030. And Ministry of Finance Acting Permanent Secretary Prudence Kawoma said government is committed to foster a conducive environment to enhance collaboration with the private sector. Now, on an update of a story that happened on Tuesday, August 2024, around 1500 hours in Chisikili area in Zimba district, a girl in company of her siblings and her stepmother were undertaking some mining. When this accident happened, the pit from where they were mining collapsed and completely buried the girl, while the stepmother was partially buried. Now, members of the community who were also undertaking the illegal mining managed to rescue the girl's stepmother, and she survived with a minor injury on the left leg. The girl unfortunately died. What a truly saddening story there from Zambia. However, Mike's last story is Muzala Samukonga returned to action last night in the 400-meter race at the Wanda Diamond League in Switzerland, and he came in second. The man is still pushing the flag forward for Zambia. Those were Mike Situla's stories coming from Zambia. We certainly expect him to be able to talk to you directly when we return with his segment next week. But for now, let's have a look at the weather predictions.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
All right, British billionaire and tech tycoon Mike Lynch was named among the dead in the sinking of the super yacht that was vacationing near Sicily. He was among the bodies taken from the yacht, numerous news outlets reported on Thursday. Now, Reuters, Sky News and Financial Times and the Italian press agencies ANSA and AGI were among them. The 183-foot ship Bayesian was carrying 22 total passengers and crew, most of whom survived. Among the missing were Lynch and his daughter, the Clifford Chance lawyer Chris Morvillo, and his wife Neda, and Morgan Stanley International's chair Jonathan Bloomer and his wife Judy. Divers had pulled 5 bodies from the wreck as of early Thursday, the BBC reported. It said a 6th was inside the ship. 15 people were rescued, including Lynch's wife Angela Baccares. Lynch's 18-year-old daughter Hannah was unaccounted for, Sky News reported. Italian authorities are investigating the cause of the sinking. Lynch's family was yet to release a public statement as of Thursday. Now, Brent Hoberman, a British entrepreneur and friend of Lynch's, told Sky News that his death was unbelievably tragic. Lynch, 59, was a former UK government advisor who founded the British software company Autonomy in 1996. By 2011, the company was so successful that Hewlett Packard agreed to buy it for $11 billion. Let's move over to Kenya, where Chief Justice Martha Koome has proposed free higher education in a bid to resolve bursary overlaps and unjust classification of students under the new funding scheme. Speaking in Nairobi, Koome proposed the consolidation of all bursary funds at the national and sub-national level to mobilize required resources for free tertiary education. She noted that the proposed funding model, which places students in different funding categories based on a socio-economic assessment of a family risk to disenfranchising students, now a child who has qualified for the university can be there crying, saying, "I have put in Band V when I thought I had to be in Band 1 before I cannot afford to go to university," she observed. Now, lawmakers proposed an amalgamation and consolidation of all funds and bursaries supporting needy students to arrest an apparent funding crisis in higher learning institutions. The proposed reforms seek to consolidate the Higher Education and Loans Board and all funds, including scholarships and bursaries issued by governors and legislators, both national and subnational. Those have been our economic news stories. We're going to head over to the economic indicators just before the sport.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with golf news first. It is the British Open for women that will start this week, and it is one of the majors of the women's calendar, and the defending champion in the tournament is Lilia Vu. She's from the United States. She won last year the British Open. She's paired with the world number 1 Nelly Korda in the first round and second round, and also Charlie Hull from Great Britain. Another favourite in the tournament is Ireland's Laura Maguire. So a strong field that's assembled at St Andrews. It is the home of golf, so it's a very significant tournament for the women, the British Open for women. 4 players from Southern African interest. It is 4 South Africans that's playing in the tournament. It is Ashley Buhai. She's the highest seeded in the world rankings from the South Africans. She's playing in the tournament. She won the tournament 3 years ago. And then also Paula Rito playing, and Cassandra Alexander, and also Leanne Pace, very experienced Leanne Pace. They all 4 of them playing in the British Open at St Andrews. Total prize money for the Women's Open is $9 million, and the winner will take home $1.4 million. On to cricket news. It is the first test in England. It is England playing against Sri Lanka without Ben Stokes, the captain, that is injured. And it is played at Old Trafford. It is Sri Lanka winning the toss, batting first. They were in deep trouble early, 6 runs for 3 wickets early and also 113 for 7. They recovered to score 236 all out in their first innings. Jawiana De Silva, the captain, scoring 74. And it is England that replied with 22 without loss. That was for the last 4 overs of the day. Continuing international sports news with the motor racing news, it is the Formula 1 Grand Prix that continues. It is the Dutch Grand Prix this coming weekend. News from the Mercedes-Benz team is that the engineer Peter Bonington, he announced that he will stay at Mercedes-Benz. He's going to be the head of race engineering. He's been the race engineer for Lewis Hamilton the last 12 years, and there was strong speculation that he might follow Lewis Hamilton to the Ferrari team, but he confirmed that he will continue with Mercedes-Benz in the 2025 season. And to close off today's international sports news, it is soccer news. It is the English Premier League that continues this weekend. It will be week 2. Still transfers happening, and it is Chelsea that confirmed that they've signed the Portuguese forward. His name is Joao Felix, and he will come from Atletico Madrid. And he's very expensive. It will be a $50 million deal. And the 24-year-old Felix, he will join the club for 7 years. And so it's good news for Chelsea. That is after they lost their first game to Manchester City. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Entries are now open for the second round of Republicane's Bridal Couple of the Year competition. Couples married between 1 June and 31 August have until 30 September of this year to enter the second round of the competition. Another one of the top 10 couples will be chosen from this pool to participate in the final taking place in May 2025. To better your chance of reaching the final, enter now. To enter, simply WhatsApp #bridal2025 to 085 785 6231 and follow the on-screen instructions or scan this QR code.
Thank you for staying with Africa Good Morning, as we have been bringing you the latest news stories stemming from the African continent and beyond. These are some of the highlights from the broadcast. Now, expelled MK party members told to move out of parliamentary houses, and they maintain that they still love Jacob Zuma. Now, of course, this was on the backdrop of the EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu and others moving to the MK, and the alleged accusation is that space was created for them in the MK party. And obviously, for those who are being pushed out, this feels unjustified. However, they do maintain that they love Jacob Zuma. In our other highlights, Egypt plans to return oil and gas production to normal from 2025. This is according to the Prime Minister. Tech tycoon Mike Lynch among the dead in super yacht wreck off the Italian coast. And one of the updates that Mike Sichula sent us through was on the companies that have been named with regards to the 400 dogs that died in Zambia due to contaminated maize. These are Pembe, Africa, Shabko, Continental, Girard Busu, and Star Milling in Zambia. Thank you for staying with Africa Good Morning, not just today, throughout the week. We'll certainly be back on Monday, keeping you informed and keeping you ahead of the curve when it comes to the news cycle. My name is Ashwin Betty from the Africa Good Morning team. Suraj